In a market defined by uncertainty, where every second counts, one opportunity can change everything. Are you ready to make your move? The time is now! Welcome to the Dream is Real podcast.
Hello, welcome, and thanks for tuning in to the Dream is Real podcast. This is a place if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, or even advance your career in real estate. Before we get started, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Don't want you to miss a beat as we bring you great episodes. This is going to be another one. I'm here with Jennifer DeVito of Evolution General Contracting. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad you are here today. So let's talk about you. Tell us a little bit about Evolution General Contracting, maybe how you had gotten into the space, where your specialties lie.
So yeah, I own a general contracting company and I am self-taught in the space. I got in 20 years ago. I was at Stony Brook University and I was a junior, and at the career fair, Pulte Homes, they're a publicly traded home builder. They had just bought out the biggest builder on Long Island. So they were hiring interns and full-time positions for every spot in their company. So I went there and went to the internship fair and I got an internship, and they said I could pick anything. I could pick sales, customer service, purchasing, construction. So I picked construction. I asked them if I was going to be using a hammer. They said, no, you're going to be a project manager. I had no idea what that was. I got placed in Mount Sinai. We were building 400 single family houses, and I was a superintendent there. So
thrown right into the mix there.
So the benefit of that was that in a 400 unit complex, all of these houses are being built in sequence. So from excavation to foundation to frame, electric, plumbing, HVAC, finish. So I was able to see them all in sequence. And then for me, the way a house is built just makes very logical sense to me. So I picked it up really quickly and I became their project manager. I did very well there. I moved up. I ran multiple of their projects across Long Island. So I built thousands of condos, single family houses, townhouses for them. And while that was happening, I got that internship when I was 20. I bought my first house to flip when I was 22. So that's how things started. And yeah.
We'll delve into that for sure. But that must have been a tremendous experience to be able to see the different facets of the build, right? Because so much can go right, but one area going wrong is obviously a disaster to a new construction, right? So you being able to see it done and done well at every step is I think great. When you walked into that fair, did you have any clue that this was an area that you might be interested in?
So my parents own an excavation company.
Okay.
So I grew up doing cesspools with my dad. So I worked with my dad in the field. So
you were in the field?
In the field. So I can operate excavator, bobcat, drive a dump truck. So shoe grades, all that. So I did in the field work with him, but it was all cesspools and excavation. So I say that I learned from the ground below from my dad, and my mom runs the company. So I learned office and back end stuff, how to run a company from my mom. Growing up, they are very, very hard workers. So again, nothing to do with building the house. It was ground below, but I learned that I wanted to own my own company.
Sure.
I didn't want to work for them. I wanted my own company, but I didn't know what. So that's what I learned growing up. So at that internship fair, I got internships at 5 different places. Target had one where it was like you could experience all their different positions, I remember. But no, I had no idea that this company was going to be there and that this is where I was going to end up. I had no idea.
And the foundation that you have from, you said, under the ground to the business management piece of it to ultimately even the hard work ethic.
That's definitely
contributed to some of your success now. And I take a look at your social media. You're very open, active. You do a great job there.
Thank you.
And from what I understand, you stay quite busy.
Yeah. So my company, we are general contracting. So we do everything: kitchens, bathrooms, second story additions, new construction, all for customers. We run about 20 to 30 projects at a time right now. And my whole concept and model is there is no name brand general contractor for residential construction. So like Pulte, like there's other big builders. So for new construction, there are big name brands that people know. For residential renovations, there is no name brand company to go to. There's a lot of little guys out there. I want to become the name brand residential general contractor.
So you knew that you wanted to be in business, right? When did you decide to take the leap and go out for yourself?
So when I was 22. So that's when it started. I took everything that I learned from that internship, and my first step into my own thing was buying my first house to flip. And then that's what turned into my general contracting company, because only one person can buy the house. So all the other customers that would come see the house asked if I did side work. So that's how I built my general contracting company, was off of those flips in the North Shore School District.
So off of your first real estate investment, that I don't want to say sparked, because it's quite obvious from what you're sharing that you had that in you. But what was it about that that maybe pushed you forward?
Yeah, I know. I know. I didn't know. I didn't have this plan like set up. So I didn't know. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't have this
That's
plan.
why I'm asking,
I
because
know.
it's fascinating. And we talk often, so I'm going to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
About how real estate offers so much in the way of growth,
yes,
and legacy earnings, and in your case, I just love it because it's a catalyst for the empire, quite honestly, that you're building right now. So don't let me cut you off. I just had to say
okay. I agree with you. And I would say, and I don't remember exactly then, but being that I was working for a developer, I think in my head was developing. So doing flips, but not for customers. So then that customer idea of being a general contractor for a customer developed through my experience with these flips and just listening to people. So that's where, am a big believer in that. You may not know what lies ahead in your future, but by doing different things and paying attention to the different pieces of information and education and what you can learn from the people around you, I think that will always help you get to the next step if you're aware and want it and are open-minded. So I think in the beginning, just seeing Pulte, like I had this idea of being a home builder on Long Island, but then listening to the feedback that I got, because I would stage my houses. So I got a following in the houses I was flipping, and people would like, oh, what paint color did you do here? What tile did you do here? So then that's when people are like, oh, can you come redo my bathroom? Can you redo my kitchen? And I just said, yeah.
Sure.
And then nights and weekends, because I worked for Pulte for 10 years. So I was working for Pulte and I was flipping houses and doing general contracting all at once for 10 years.
So you had that first house, and then how did it compound from there? Whether it's from a volume perspective or what you looked for in the market. You obviously were continuously flipping. How often did you secure a home? And
I probably did then like 2 to 3 a year.
Okay.
So I would say about that. So yes, I was doing that, and then I started adding on the renovation work a little at a time as it came. I had never advertised ever. The social media person I hired last year, that was my first real advertising. Otherwise, everything's been word of mouth for me. But yeah, so just slowly growing it. And yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. It was very hard. And I just even recently, within the past, I don't know, maybe 6 years, just started hiring, real employees that were on my payroll, because otherwise I was doing it, nights and weekends.
Sure.
And, with guys and everything.
Well, you must have put a lot of love into the homes, because it's one thing to flip a house, to move it, and it's another thing to have somebody, walk in and say, wow,
yes,
that stands out. Definitely. Right? How do I do that? Or, maybe somebody who's not buying, but seeing what you did and said, I want that.
That is definitely one thing about my flips. They were never just a flip to make money. I'd rather make less and have the house be done right and look nice and what's in style. And I always like to do different things in them, not the same thing over and over. So they definitely did have a special touch, all of them, and that people could see.
Now, to hear you say that, it seems relatively obvious that that would be the ideal. But where did that come from with you, where you said, "This is how I'm going to do it"? Because it's not always how it's done.
Oh, definitely not. I think reputation is the most important thing. And I think you can ruin your reputation very, very quickly. And word of mouth spreads. And especially this day and age with social media, forget it. But my parents have a very, very, very good reputation in their town with their business. They've been in business for 35 years. And everywhere you go in our town where we grew up and then outside of it, everybody says good things about them. They do the right thing. And then I guess that's where I got it from. And that's my motto with my business. My employees know I don't care if it costs us money. We have to do the right thing every time, every single time. So, and I don't care if it's a loss to us. I cannot put out a product like that in anything that happened. There's a million things obviously in a house that could go wrong that you could see and find, but we fix every single thing. And all of my employees know that it's 100% a part of our culture.
Is the flipping still part of what you do?
A lot less. I have gone through transitions in my life. I did go through a bad divorce. To get through that divorce, I ended up doing 23 flips in 2 years. I did,
That's in volume.
Yeah. So I met a guy and we ended up, he had access to all foreclosures. So I ended up buying all foreclosures and in those 2 years. And yeah, I did 23 of them and that was wild. A few of them had tenants. I had to go myself, evict them. I have some crazy stories, but yeah, so I did that. But again, I used that to get through my hard time with my vision being that name brand company for customers. So that got me through that hard time. I did less for customers. It was also like worked out. Things were getting a little slower. So it all worked out and I wasn't marketing yet at that time. So then that got me through it. It also helped me hire a lot of people to do that volume. I got a good team and then that's it. Now it's all customer work. The only things that I'm doing currently is I have 5 pieces of land. I'm building 5 spec houses. So I have 2 in Lattingtown, 2 in Northport, and 1 in East Northport. So I have those lots that will build to sell. But again, the 100% focus on my social media, everything is about customer work.
When you look at a house that's either going to be sold or, let's say a new homeowner going into their dream home, when you look at the myriad of projects that you could do, what do you think is the most valuable for the overall value of the house?
I mean, it depends on people's budget. So definitely kitchens and bathrooms are huge. Right now, a ton of our work is all people who got into their houses. Their rates are 2%. They have such a low rate. Houses since then, the price of houses has gone up tremendously. Rates are still, they're not as high, but they're still higher than 2%. So they stay and do a second story addition. A lot of our customers are all doing second story additions or extensions. And I mean, I don't think you can lose in that either. If you got in at a good price, even 5 years ago, I mean, the price of houses has gone up, and then do the construction. And I think you'll have equity in that house when it's done.
Right. So, and I've seen that even in my own neighborhood.
Yeah. Right now, everybody's staying. When you choose to stay or move, 9 out of 10 times, the better option is to stay and renovate than to move.
Right.
Because you have to pay more and it still needs work.
That's fascinating. Now, your business model lends to, I think, something that's quite convenient, quite predictable, which when, to your point earlier, that there's no real driving, major brand. So there's a lot of research that goes into who you're going to work with and, you want to make sure you're working with the right contractor. And you want to know what you're getting at the end. You want to get a sense in the beginning. So what we have here is the bath in a box. And we talked a little bit about it before, but for our audience, I want to learn a little bit more about this because it's pretty intriguing.
So my whole thing too in construction is that it's turned into, it is hard to find a good, reliable contractor. And then all your selections, you have to go to 30 different stores to pick everything out for your job. So just a bathroom, you have to go to the tile store, you have to go to the plumbing fixture place, you have to find light fixtures somewhere else, your vanity somewhere else.
Saying this in my, I just did exactly that. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So my company, we have designers on staff. So it's all part of your job. There's no extra cost. So once you work with us, then you get assigned to a designer and they help you pick all of the tile, all the light fixtures, everything. And it helps us do volume, and it helps all the materials be correct because we'll handle ordering everything for you. So it works for the customer and it works for us. So out of that, I have also wanted to simplify some things in construction. And I think ultimately my big goal is that you should be able to buy your whole renovation online. So to get to that, I started with Bath in a Box. So Bath in a Box is the average bathroom is 5x7 to 5x9. And we have pre-picked 6 different styles for your bathroom. So there's white, the oak that's nice now, black vanities mixed with gold, chrome, black, different paint colors, different tiles. And we've put them all together, 6 different options. So for $17,995, so for $18,000, it's a full gut of your bathroom with all of those materials included. And you could pick one off our website. We mail you this box with all the samples inside. You can pick your start date and we finish it in 14 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, just the removal of the anxiety of going from one place to, again, I'm speaking from the heart here.
Yes.
So you go and you pick out your tile, and then you're looking at the vanity and you're trying to remember what the tile looks like. Or maybe you bring a sample and you're trying to take a 3x whatever and match it. And then you better like it. You better like it. And if you don't, you're going to tell yourself you like it. But in your case, you're making all of this from the assistance of the designer to combinations that you already know work, you already know are trending. And any special inspiration for this?
No, and this is just funny. I came up with this idea 7 years ago. So it took me 7 years to get to this, just because it's none of this is easy. It's not easy. I love it. I wake up every day and I just love everything and creating this company and building it and everything. But no, again, everything I'm trying to do is just to help the customer. I see the pain like you went through. I see it. It just doesn't make sense. So I just want to fix that for people. And your home, owning a home, living in a home, like that's the American dream. That's what everybody does. And it's just people lose money as soon as they buy a house. I want to help them in every way to be able to just make this process smoother. And it's also like the home is people's pride and joy.
Sure.
And I just want that process to be the construction process. I want it to be fun again and enjoyable and not this headache. And I want it to be just, that something that you go through. Yes, it's stressful, but we want to take as much as the stress off and bring as much fun and enjoyment back into construction.
I have to imagine that this gives them the kind of the ultimate, it gives them control, right? Because we all want control over what we want. But again, takes away that
the headache.
The headache.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So and reasonably priced.
Yes, that's my whole thing too. Is that you see these pictures, everybody can see everything, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, and of course you could see these beautiful things, and with unlimited money you could build any of them.
Sure.
But my whole thing is for the average person. I like to find ways for the average person to get these beautiful bathrooms, but at a reasonable price. So you don't have to do inset cabinet doors. People don't even notice that's what's in the picture. But you could do a regular cabinet and not have the inset and still have that look of the picture.
Right.
So we try to find all the different components to make it look like these beautiful pictures you see, but at a good cost.
Yeah, you don't even realize how things add up, because some contractors will take the perspective of it's like, all right, well, you procure the tile, you procure the vanity, we'll do the installation, and before you know it, between the final number and then, when you're there looking at the vanities and you're always going to lean toward, chances are you're going to do this once.
Right.
So you're going to lean higher. So it's very easy to come in higher than what we're talking about here.
Definitely.
And the fact that you've got.
And with no reference point. So I want to bring transparency to construction. Price this bathroom, you'll get prices from $10,000 to $30,000 for one bathroom. There's no transparency in construction either.
Right.
So that's where this is the start of it. But I want to build like a catalog, a menu that you can go online and see all the prices up front, because nobody has anything to compare to. You even hear these per square foot prices that get thrown out there. I don't even price by per square foot. I don't even know it's like not possible. I did a second story addition and they were saying this other person came in and did a per square foot price. They're not even getting a kitchen. So how does your per square foot price work at all in that scenario? So yeah, there is just, so I want to bring visibility to construction so people have a clue at what things should cost.
Sure. And are you looking to expand this to other areas of the home as
Yeah,
well?
it'll be kitchen in a box and basement in a box will be the next two coming.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
That is very, very cool. So tell us a little bit about the future of I would say the evolution of evolution.
So the future is, the next goal is a commercial building. So our first flagship store. So that we're hoping to locate one this year and build it or renovate it next year and have that first flagship store open up. Right now we have a showroom in Northport. So I want this to be a big showroom where everybody can come, and that's where your appointments will be, as you know, our customers come. But I also want that to be a place with educational rooms. So I really want to teach people about their home, about financing, about how everything from mortgages to how to finance your construction project. I just want to teach people about everyday things that I feel like it's missing in this world. You go from school, which I wish in the schools they would teach more of this, but they don't,
Sure.
to then you're in real life already, and it's not easy for everybody to figure it out. So I just want educational classes there, and our flagship store. So that's the immediate is.
So many people go through and have to make these life decisions, and it's really it's you get a doctorate in hard knocks. Really, you make mistakes. I know I can speak personally. Probably all of our audience can as well. Some things you decided correctly. Other things.
And listen, I'm all about that. That's why I'm not afraid of anything in business, because anything that I fail at, that's my learning lesson. I didn't go to school for this, and you can't go to school for any of this. When you get to a certain point and you're building a business, there's no, manual that you read to just do it step by step. It's all trial and error. So I'm all about that. But to help people with the basics so that they can hopefully not lose money in certain ways, and just have somebody to go to ask these questions instead of just Googling it. It is nice to have face-to-face interaction about these things. And that's what I really want for this world and our area.
It seems like you have transparency, predictability, affordability, checking off all the boxes there.
Yeah.
So very good stuff. How can our audience get in touch with you?
So we have a website, evolutionli.com. We're on social media, Evolution General Contracting. We're on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on there as well, Jennifer DeVito. And you can contact us any way.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We have to have you back because I do have a lot of questions. Both personally, and I think ones that'll benefit the audience. And I want to thank you as well for tuning in. This is the Dream is Real podcast. If you want to connect with us, you can do so on Instagram and TikTok at Dream Select Realty, or you can find us on X at Dream Select Home. If you want to be part of the program, just email us at hometeam@dreamselectrealty.com. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Just remember, the dream is real.